Okay, class, so today we're going to start a new program. I don't know if you've heard about Nahopena Au, which is some learning outcomes that we're doing for, with Hawaii. So it's a Hawaii cultural initiative. So today, what the goal is that you guys have the learning target is a sense of belonging that is demonstrated through an understanding of lineage and place and a connection to the past, present, and future. Okay, so that's what our learning target is with this. The first part here is a strengthened sense of belonging. And in Hawaiian, we have He pili vena, vehena ole, a relationship that cannot be broken. So just living here in Hawaii, there's something very special about being here. And one of the things that, reminds me a lot about Hawaii is the canoe. And a lot of you might know I raced did some canoe racing in the sprints. Anybody in here paddle? No? You used to. Well, what's unique about the canoe is that, we're all paddling the same canoe, right? And it's important to work as a team, right? So let's say that Haley, she's really motivated in this canoe and she starts paddling too fast. And let's say she's sitting over here in position number 3 and she's going so fast the canoe will actually start to turn because she's going fast. So everybody has to paddle together, right? If you want to go in one direction. And one of the things that, Mahoi, which, he was kind of a kumu to me. He was teaching me like there's different people within society that do different things. Some people are leaders, some people are workers, right? So if I had, when I was paddling, I used to think, oh, I'm in position 3, all I'm doing is working, I don't get to do the fun stuff, right? But actually, everybody has their job. So in the front of the canoe, you're gonna have like a stroker who keeps the time. Now, if I decide to go off the time, right, the canoe's not going to move as fast. So when everybody's going at the right pace, right, the canoe's going to move, right? So here's something else that I found interesting. So when you're racing on a team, okay, we don't yell out the counts. We don't go 1, 2, 3, nothing like that. We look at the person in front and they have their hand on the paddle and they're hooking, they're pulling the paddle through the water, right? The reason is because on the ocean or in the water, the sound sometimes gets carried by the wind away, so you can't really hear the counts. And then also, the science of sound is not as fast as light, right? So our coach would always tell us to look, at the top of the person's hand in front of you, right? As you're going through the water. So you need to match that movement. So we move as one, right, through the water. So that's a value that I really value and treasure because that's what it's like being in this classroom, living an island life. We live as a community, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys a short video that explains a little bit about this this program. Let's see here. Yeah, isn't that weird? Let's see here. Hold on, I better pause my technical difficulties here.
was often very difficult to contextualize the education that was given to us, or to place the concepts of Western learning into this way we live. How do we help kids contextualize the learning we're trying to give them with the place around them, with the honua?
What is Ha?
It's the sharing of the breath of life, and it's the sharing of love, actually, caring for each other and caring for the earth.
People ask what is Ha in terms of Naho Pina'o. The first thing that I think of are system outcomes.
This strength and sense of belonging, it is very important to me that each one of my haumana know who they are, where they come from, where they live.
We are unique in Hawaii. Whether you were born here or not, you are part of it, and we all have a chance to contribute to it in implementing the framework. We may find a common thread in other ways, in other parts of our lives, that we haven't already done.
You feel a kuleana to that place. Do you want to work hard and bring your best to make that place better? It's what's essentially Hawaiian. And I work to make that experience for my students. Seeing their smiles and seeing them all pili, all one, that exemplifies what Ha is all about.
Excellence. On a personal level, I'm always streaming for that. Looking at our mo'olelo and just really the way my kupuna are and how we've been raised, excellence is central to a lot of what we do.
Hulawa ho'ohana mākou ia aloha, ua a'o ka mākou kumu ia mākou ku'ohano, ano akahai, la no lokahi, o no olu'olu, he no ha'aha'a o ahonui a, ua a'o lako ia mākou I kia na ka mea o kia aloha, ka mea nui, ma ka ohana a me ma waho a'e o ka hula.
From the smallest component of the youngest children all the way up to the kupuna, we have a happy and healthy community. We have a community where people are safe, where they are nurtured, where they have what they need to live, that they have food, shelter, clothing, education, that they have work that's meaningful to them and helpful to the community.
Something that's even more important than the art itself is really a connection. Knowing that between Nalani and Honua is Kanaka, and that's our role between the conduit, connect those energies. Helping the kids to align the three piko and be one with all of that makes them better able to listen to the aina.
Creating a framework where every single community can figure out what works best for them, where teachers and haumana are all a part of creating a pathway, a framework that makes things work best for our students.
The promise that I see is generational abundance. This sense that we work together to create not just survival for our community, but true thriving. That is generational because it's something that is a legacy that I passed on to my children, that I inherited from my kupuna, but generational in that it continues to create more of itself.
Now's the time to implement something, to save something that is Hawaii, so that we all have Hawaii. And if we could return 30, 40, 50 years from now, that we would recognize a place that we would choose to live in, that we would still choose to live in Hawaii 50 years from now.
Down some vocabulary words. Let's see, is that video still rolling? I guess it's, yeah, it's still recording. Okay. All right. So I want you to think about what that video is saying and tell me what did you get from that? What is na hopena au. Any ideas? Did I say it right?
You said it.
I did, huh?
Said it.
Oh, yeah. Well, close enough, right? Pretty close. I'll get it, just wait.
Yeah.
So, first of all, what does that mean? Na hopena ao.
The sense of belonging?
That's one of the outcomes, yes. That's one of the outcomes. So that's good. So we got the sense of belonging. So sense of belonging is one of the outcomes. What does it mean?
So a place in your life.
A place in your life, na hopena ao. Yes. Okay. So.
Because everyone's own place in life.
Okay.
We're like the commonwealth. So we got to tend to the land, and wherever we do for the land, we get that to us.
Yes. So you are a product of your ancestors, your family, Haley and Corey. Yeah, your family, and that's what you bring to the picture. So I have a question. What do you think about the past, the present, and the future? Is there a connection? Is there a connection? Maka, do you have any idea? Is there a connection with them?
Pretty much the same.
What's that?
Pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same as what?
Same like as music one just coming out and like everyone wants to like go for technology, but we don't. So like we threw our way. So we stick to our way and they do their own.
Okay. So, you know, if something occurs in the past, it's not occurring right now in the present, right?
Yeah.
If something's going to occur in the future, it's also not occurring in the present, right? So there is some sort of connection because, you know, how did Mahoy, how did Haley, how did Corey, how did you guys become who you are, you know, if it wasn't for the past? So your ancestors that came way before you, they taught your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, right?
Yeah.
And that got passed on to you. And one day you guys will have your own children or whatever, and it'll be the same thing, and it just continues.
And it goes on and on.
It goes on and on. So we are connected, right? And I'll tell you a very true story. When I was, I had to leave the island for about 3 years because my dad got sick. He got Lewy body dementia. I was really paddling a lot at that time. And I was really upset because I was going, oh, how am I going to keep paddling if I go to the mainland? Well, I found a team. And there's a Hawaiian team. They're paddling there in California. Yes?
How old is your dad when he's sick?
He was about 76. He was old.
Is he still alive?
He passed. But I at least got to spend 3 more years.
Oh, your mom is?
My mom's still alive. Yes. So anyway, I joined this paddling team. And when I was paddling in American River over by Folsom Prison. So you have Folsom Prison and there's the American River. And when I was paddling, I was just like thinking, well, this isn't the same as Hawaii. This is like, it's much harder than the ocean because the water is more dense because it doesn't have the salt. There's less buoyancy. Yeah. This is like different, right? And it's on a river and everything. It wasn't the same. Then I got to thinking about the water that's in the ocean. Where does this water end up? The water is going to be flowing down there. It's going to go out to the Pacific Ocean. It ends up over here in Hawaii, right? And that culture from Hawaii was put over there. And let me tell you, those people sometimes here in Hawaii, I don't feel like we always celebrate all the cultural values, but all the canoe races, they always sang the Hawaiian songs. They brought Hawaiian food over there. They had the same local sayings and stuff like that within this paddling crew. And my coach, and a lot of you guys might know this, the canoes, they all get names. And you have to respect that canoe as a person. You try, jump over the ama, or you try get in the canoe from the wrong side, you're gonna get scoldings. And the coach will yell at you. And she was about this tall, my coach. And I mean, when she yelled, you could really, she would let you know, like I would be paddling, not paying attention, or I'd be off timing, and she'd go, Avery, no looky-loo, and she'd be yelling, or if you weren't calling. So when you go out there and they go, they go, hut, hut, ho, that means you switch sides, yeah? If you didn't call with it, well, she would let you know. She wants to hear you because we're working together as one team, right? But I kind of realized, you know what? There is a connection. There's a connection all over. So
my team just always said cool.
Yeah, every team has a different, right?
Change.
Yes. So some people go hut, hole, and switch. Some go hut, hut, hole, because they don't want to communicate to the other team what your timing is, right? So every team has a little bit different code. And yours, what was yours?
Cool.
Kuapo. Okay. So
then when we go to cool, we do it twice and then switch.
yes, see that's tricky because you're switch. You do it twice and then you switch. Yeah. So everyone has a little bit different. Yeah, she would tell us that too. So anyway, she went to sell me her canoe. She was really heartfelt. She didn't really want, she didn't really want to sell it, but she had to, right? So she's selling me her racing canoe. It was a 2-man outrigger canoe. And I went to go pay on Venmo, and she said her last name was Vigil. Well, Vigil is not a very common last name. And it's someone from New Mexico. Like there's probably, last names here that are just from the Big Island or just from Hawaii, right? Yeah. So I said, are you from New Mexico? And she said, yeah. And I said, whoa. I said, because, I said, I'm from New Mexico. My great-grandpa was Policarpio. And she goes, oh, really? Well, I'm from, she's half Hawaiian and half New Mexican, and she goes, my family is, that was my great grandfather's brother, Policarpio, and so hers was Grandpa Frank. So it was like, whoa, we found out we were like, I don't know, 3rd or 4th cousins, but it was just really interesting that we met paddling, right? So there's connections there, yeah? So, let's see. I wanted to do one activity, if we could just get into a circle real quick. I want to kind of learn about each person. So, let's see. Why don't we just get the chairs and then keep up the circle? I guess we can do a circle around this table here. Okay. Let's just get in a circle.
That's please.
You don't
Want to.
Okay, come on, guys.
He doesn't want to.
Remember, we have some treats after.
What? Oh no.
Okay, got that going. Okay, so what I'd like to do is just each person just kind of talk about a family member that you have. So we'll take a few minutes just to kind of think of one family member. Can be brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, or someone from the past or some person. Hmm? They just passed. Okay. So just kind of introducing just someone who you're thinking about. Okay, you want to start? Go ahead.
My adopted mom.
Okay. You want to tell us a little something about her?
And she goes to work sometimes.
Okay.
And then she met me when I was like 8 years old.
Wow.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Anyone else? Yes.
I don't know what to talk about. My tutu and my little cousin, because he passed when he was like maybe 10 years old, and I was like, what the heck? Why did he have to go? I'm like, I have all these obnoxious cousins, and he has to go. So it was kind of sad about that.
How did he pass?
He had some kind of fluid in his brain, and that's why he passed. Cause they did like surgery, but it didn't help at all.
What do you remember about it?
I remember I used to laugh a lot, and he was like the only cousin I could actually relate to. But now all my older cousins are comforting me because of him.
So everybody brings something, sense of humor. Anybody else?
If I talk about someone, I would cry, so. If I talk about someone, I'm gonna cry, so I'm just gonna stay quiet.
What's more important is that you're thinking
It's
about
okay, I gotta let it go.
you know, you just thinking about your relative or whatever is good enough, right? But what I thought, for me, I think about my grandmother. Everyone calls her Mao. She's very energetic, and she always asks me about my classes and stuff like that. I talk, about you guys. I say, good things, how much I appreciate you guys and everything. But most of all, what's interesting about her is she grew up in a really different time. She was born in 1929, and she had to ride horses. I have some people that are cowboys and cowgirls in this room, right? Some of you guys cowboys and cowgirls? You ride horses? No? Oh. I figured because you're an animal, right? Well, then I got two cowboys here. So, so they had to do it for a living back then. And then we got to haul water, like I live in Mountain View, we don't have city water. So, she had to haul from the river to get it in barrels and stuff like that. So it was a totally different time period. But let me see if I can get her where you guys can think of some questions you might want to ask her.